Okay, so I previously made a video about my experience in BNI, and the points I'm going to make now I didn't make in that video because I still wanted to maintain the relationships I thought I had made in BNI. But this is the first point: is I didn't seem to make any relationships in BNI. As soon as I left BNI, those relationships evaporated. There's one person I do actual business with. There's a lot of people I still do, like I do business with, but it's one-sided. So I mean, I thought I'd built relationships with these people where it was about being professional and being the best person. Like I thought they were the best person that I could use for this job, so I would refer them, and I thought I had that relationship with them. But it turns out all these are giving people work on a daily basis, and nothing is coming back my way. That's a one-sided relationship, and it's not. I'm not going to. There's no point in maintaining a one-sided relationship. So I'm. That is the first point here. Is BNI tells you come in and grow your business. Join BNI, grow your business. Yes, you'll grow your business, but it's capped within BNI. As soon as you leave BNI, that support disappears. Because you're incentivized to give the referrals inside BNI. You're getting your brownie points for giving referrals inside BNI. So people will actually go and look for someone in another chapter for something, even though they know you could do it, because they want that brownie point. But it's and this is the bigger point here is it incentivizes people to pass business based on brownie points, not actual this is the right person for the job, this is the best person for the job. It incentivizes not choosing the best person but getting the point. I joined BNI, and within a very short period of time I was doing very well within the structure. So you do your one-to-ones, you give people referrals. It's a gamification of business within their structure. So you follow the steps. You just do a little bit more than the other guy. Suddenly you're the champion. You're getting awards. You're getting certificates. People are clapping for you. Well done. But that didn't translate to actual business. It didn't translate to money in my bank account. When I did an assessment of what had happened, I did this yearly, and after the second year, BNI was 25, almost a quarter of my time. I think it was 23%, and it was 8% of my turnover. It was not worth it. And I was leadership, so I'm getting drawn into other people's dramas. So, and I find a lot of people get stuck in it. So there was this photographer wasn't getting business, but she kept coming because it's the social cohesion. You get recognized for this, so you get your dopamine hit and you feel good with your team. But she wasn't getting business, so it doesn't make sense to keep doing it. But she did it for 4 years, and I'm pretty sure she's still there. Me being very results orientated and somewhat ultra rational, I would have it didn't translate, so there's no point in repeating a behavior that doesn't actually get me results. And that's the next point here, is there's a lot of people who are stuck in BNI because they are getting that they are stuck in the gamification loop. They are stuck in the that feeling of being part of this and getting their recognition. And I mean, a lot of people will say they come here, it's very positive, it recharges their batteries, but it doesn't lead to business. And the result of that is there's a lot of dead weight in BNI. People who are there because it almost keeps them going. It's like their social support network, but they're not contributing. So you see, to me, it's like, yes, if it's supposed to be a social support network, then great, it works very well. But it's actually supposed to be a business network that helps people grow a business. And the dead weight, I would say in the chapter I was in, half of the chapter was dead weight. They were just there because they come once a week, have coffee with their friends, recharge their batteries, because the rest of the world's so negative. And here in this room, it's all positive, and we all talk about good things, and it didn't translate to passing business to each other. It didn't translate to much at all. So, yeah, and I wouldn't have known this had I not become leadership, because then I saw everyone's statistics and I'm going, hang on, why are we actually keeping this person here? Oh, because, this and that. It's like making excuses. Because also, you're paying membership fees. So who's going to turn away someone who's willing to hand out 8,000 Rand a year in membership fees? Nobody's going to turn that away. Everyone's incentivized to keep you in there. Within BNI, there's these people who become like complete evangelists. All right, so some of them is good, but some of them game the system, and it seems the evangelists are kind of like untouchable. So the background is I worked very closely with a paint manufacturer. So they would ask me to quote on projects when there was a disaster on a project. So they supply paint, contractor messes up the project, I go and quote to redo it properly. And one name kept coming up. And then I'm in a conference in BNI, and here's this guy. And he was one of these evangelists. He could give you a quote for every scenario, an Ivan Meisner quote. And yeah, he kept getting away with it. And people within BNI would say, this guy is no good. People would literally discuss it openly, but just kept rolling. And there's a couple of them. There's other examples. I won't go into too much details. I think people need to know about this. It's like there's so many. You actually need to be on your toes, because there's so many people that do game the system, and keep getting away with it. No matter how many complaints there are against them, they just keep cruising. So yeah, they'll talk the talk, but I'm not interested in people who talk. I'm interested in people who deliver. I'm interested in dealing with people who deliver. But like I say, BNI seems to incentivize being an evangelist, talking the talk. So the harder you talk, the more entrenched you become in the system. And it's not. I found it was a big problem. Okay, so a lesser point, but it's still an issue, is the churn of new members. And if you're considering joining, you need to consider this very carefully, because it's almost not spoken about. The time investment you're going to make is huge. It's not just the 3 hours that they mentioned. There's the first membership training is 5 hours. The weekly meeting isn't just that bit of time. You go there early. You then stay late to have a one-to-one. To meet people. You have to have one-to-ones outside. So if you like. Some weeks I did 6 meetings with people. That's 6 hours plus driving there, driving back, maybe paying for a lunch. It's a huge investment, and a lot of new members. You paid 8 grand. You now investing all this time, but you're not seeing any business come in. That can be very disconcerting, and a lot of people just fall out. Okay, so then the last point refers back to the dead weight. When the meetings are set up, it's not about the members. So the members feel good, but it's a show for visitors, for people who are thinking of joining. So you literally putting on a show for these people. And there's one specific slide in the presentation that's very important, where they show you the statistics. Okay, Frikkie passed so much work to Kwesi, and Kwesi thanks Yanni for so much closed business, and PT gave so many referrals this week, and inclusive. So it's egalitarian. Everyone seems to be included, but those statistics come down to 3 or 4 people within the chapter, because there are people in that chapter. Because I was vice president, and this is where I started questioning this whole thing, very rapidly is there's people in that chapter who have done 2 referrals in a year. And then there are people in that chapter who do 4, 5, 6, 8 referrals a week. So the point is, now you coming into this chapter, you thinking you're talking to a winner, you think you're talking to someone who's contributing. Meanwhile, you're wasting your time trying to build a relationship with someone who will never pass you any business. And again, this is supposed to be a business referral network. It's not supposed to be a social club. So you could essentially take those 4 people out of the chapter and be as successful. On the topic of chapters, so if you're going to join BNI, do not just visit one chapter and choose there. Visit multiple chapters. You can visit each chapter twice, and I would advise you do that. Go to several chapters and then make a short list and then revisit those chapters. Check their numbers. Bigger chapters are supposed to be better because there's more people, and apparently the trend in BNI is bigger chapters. It's an exponential growth in business past and closed business, etc. But the problem I saw when visiting these chapters is you have cliques. You can almost split half of those chapters into 2 or 3 chapters because of the cliques. Because the cliques don't associate with each other. So it's kind of pointless having such a big chapter. You could just have 3 different chapters.
Right, the next point is people who hop and skip chapters. Seasoned BNI veterans will spend 2 years in a chapter and then move to another chapter so they can build new relationships. But when you move to the new chapter, the people in your previous chapter will still be passing you business because you've just spent 2 years with them. You have a good relationship with them. They have sent you business. They know what you're capable of. They will keep sending you business. This is a problem for the new person coming into the chapter because you won't see business for a year or 2 at least. You're going to have to prove yourself, or you're only going to get business from other new members who don't know that person had left. So if I were joining a chapter, I would ask, what happened to the previous guy in the seat? Did he leave the BNI, or did he move chapters? And if you move chapters, you're wasting your time. You're actually not going to see business for at least a year. You'll see dribs and drabs. So trying to wrap this up, and I keep thinking of more and more things. But yeah, the cost benefit for me was not there. I can't, if knowing what I know now, I would not have joined. I don't know who this would work for. If you're thinking of joining, just please consider the points I've made and manage your expectations. Because the meeting that you're attending is designed to make you feel like, wow, this is amazing. I want to be part of this. The energy in the room, everything it's designed. The clapping of the hands, that's orchestrated. Again, because I was a visitor host and I was a vice president. I did a lot of the training, and it was like very much, this is designed to get a specific response from people. Because like I said before, the meetings are not about the members. The meeting is about visitors, and it's to get visitors to join.